got a lot of UFO stuff to talk about, guys, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I'll talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, as Daily Mail Online says, New Jersey drones are back as interactive map shows activity ramping up after Trump promised to release the truth. Where is the truth? Where is that report? What is Susie, who I believe is his chief of staff, going to come back with as for an answer on the mystery drones? He said he'd get to the bottom of it. He said he would release a report of it a day or two after inauguration. It's time. Let's get this party started. Okay, all right. But what about this interactive map? Okay, dailymail.com. Has this map right here, and as you can see, you can interact with it about these drone sightings. Now, this is not comprehensive. Drones have been seen all over the place. We've got them in Texas. We've got them all over. But this is at least interactive up to a point, or at least representative up to a point. But okay, let's get out of the ads. An interactive map of UFO sightings has revealed shockingly new reports of drones, mystery drones, UFOs presenting as drones, whatever you want to call them, of drones in New York, in New Jersey, and other states, suggesting this bizarre mystery is still unfolding. The map created by UAP tracking website Enigma Labs shows hundreds of sightings logged as recently as January 7th in multiple northeastern states. The mysterious drones along the East Coast appeared in November, with 22 people issuing reports to Enigma starting on the 20th, but that number dramatically increased to 347 by December 31st. A drone ban was issued from December 18th to January 17th, during which Enigma Labs said the average number of reported sightings dropped by 43%. So that's interesting. So the sightings did drop off after the ban was put in place, but only less than half. So a lot of those sightings, it was not affected by the ban, indicating there are a lot of real anomalous sightings. Now, new data shows 36 sightings were logged the week of January 1st, and nearly half were spotted in New Jersey. Donald Trump said Monday that he will tell the people the truth about the drones. Why don't we find out immediately? He said while in the Oval Office. I can't imagine it's an enemy or their people would have gotten blown up over it. So he doesn't know what they are. Maybe they were testing things. I don't know why they wouldn't have said what it was. The Biden administration had assured the public that the sightings were not a threat, brushing most of them off as hobbyist drones, commercial airplanes, and even stars. So, yeah, they're clearly not hobbyist drones. If the activity only dropped by less than 50%, the reported sightings only dropped by less than 50% after the ban was put in place. So hopefully the Trump administration will be more forthcoming about what these things are. Of course, it's very likely that the powers that be have been trying to find out what these are for a long time, for months or even years, since this began in Colorado in like 2019 or 2020. And they haven't told us the truth about what these things are. They may not know. At least the mainstream part of the government might not know. Obviously, the control group has some idea, and this is likely a message directed at somebody, likely the control group or some element of the powers that be. So, yeah, so it is very possible that the mainstream government does not know what these things are and has chosen to lie to us about that. So hopefully that at least will change under the Trump administration, but we will see. Speaking of the Trump administration, a Senate panel approves John Ratcliffe as the CIA director. So will John Ratcliffe be more forthcoming? He has definitely said pro-transparency stuff in the past.
Number of sightings, they're far greater than have been publicly disclosed before. I think there's been some leaking that there may be as many as 100. I'm not going to dispute that number. But what's more important, Trey, is that the number of sightings and recordings that have been picked up by what we call multiple sensors, that is visual, radar, ISR, satellite. And when you have multiple sensors under conditions where we see UAPs, it explains away a lot of the things like visual disturbances or things like that. When it comes to national security, ego can't be involved. If there's something out there that's bigger or faster and stronger, we've really got to answer that question.
So there you go, talking openly about UFOs, and, we don't know what they are, but they are out there. So I find that really encouraging. I hope that transfers to his new position, this openness about UFOs. I have a sneaking suspicion that once you get in that position that, maybe you clam up. But hey, maybe I'll be proven wrong. I sure hope so. Certainly couldn't do any worse than the government's been doing the last 70 plus years. But time will tell. Speaking of the drones, Ross Coulthart says this. After thousands of reported drone sightings, the FBI reportedly has no leads on who is responsible, and they've not recovered a single one. So why is this not a national security priority? Unexplained incursions over restricted airspace are surely a grave concern. POTUS has promised an answer, and indeed he has. And he's replying to Richard Geldreich, who says it isn't just New Jersey and they aren't conventional drones. FBI's New Jersey drone scare investigation has no suspects, and links to this article by the War Zone, just saying that yes, indeed, there are no suspects in the mystery drone mystery, meaning, if this thing has been going on for months or years and, there was a human operative or human operatives behind it, surely we would have caught one or more than one by now, right? And we haven't. So what is behind it? Meanwhile, speaking of the new administration and UFOs, what is up with this apparently vanished tweet by Anna Paulina Luna? Would you like to see a special committee on ancient civilizations and archaeology? This is apparently a real tweet by Anna Paulina Luna on January 22nd, which was deleted. Well, yes, Anna, yes, I want to see a special committee on ancient civilizations and archaeology. Am I going to get it? No. If the tweet was deleted, we're probably not going to get that special committee. But it's really cool that she's thinking about it and that she's asking people's opinions about it. It's disappointing that she deleted the tweet. I guess she got mocked or laughed at for it. But yeah, I mean, there's some answers to be found to our present mysteries in ancient civilizations. The Nazca people were interacting with the Nazca beings thousands of years ago, went on for thousands of years, incorporated into their artwork, their textiles. They were part of the fabric of their lives. Of the beings were part of the fabric of the humans' lives, and vice versa. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we could find out if we only understood the ancient world better. So I love it that she's thinking about it. I'm disappointed that she deleted the tweet. Okay. I hear you ask, but what about the 120-foot tall angels that were appearing before the astronauts that Chris Bledsoe was talking about? Yeah, so this was an older story that these beings were appearing before the cosmonauts some years ago. And here's a little bit about it. This is a modern, some people think this is a smaller, modern version of what they may have seen. Who knows? It's a cool video. I've shared this before, this shape-changing anomaly or entity or whatever the heck that thing is. I don't know what that thing is. It's pretty cool, though. What do you think? But yeah, the cosmonaut story is right here. And we have these angelic beings that were appearing before the cosmonauts. The 1984, 6 Russian cosmonauts, according to Tiftastic, and this story has been around for a while, aboard the Salyut-7 space station, reported a remarkable sighting of what they described as giant glowing angelic beings outside their spacecraft. Initially, 3 cosmonauts witnessed these winged humanoid figures, which were estimated to be 80 to 125 feet tall and surrounded by a radiant orange tinged light. Days later, after being joined by 3 additional crew members, all 6 cosmonauts observed the same phenomena. The beings appeared to have been peaceful, smiling faces and radiated an overwhelming sense of serenity and awe. The sighting lasted for about 10 minutes and left the crew deeply affected, describing it as a spiritual or otherworldly experience. While the Soviet officials reportedly classified much of the information surrounding the incident, theories range from psychological stress or hallucinations induced by prolonged space travel to atmospheric optical illusions, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, the usual debunkings. And here's a GIF or GIF. It's a GIF or GIF of what it might have looked like. And, that's beautiful. That's fantastic. Was this a projection in their mind, some sort of screen memory or something like this? Were there actually, giant entities that were appearing before them that looked like angels or that were making themselves look like angels? I don't know, but it's an amazing story. I'm glad that Chris is reminding us all about it. Meanwhile, I have to share this video every now and then. It's one of my favorite UFO sightings.
I'm actually, yes.
Yeah, caught by a news crew in Milwaukee. I'll let you hear the audio.
Yes,
Okay.
I do see it.
Okay.
It's getting weirder by the second.
I know.
It's like they're sticking around.
We're gonna.
Anybody?
Yeah, some people try to debunk this, saying, "Oh, those are birds. That's what birds look like." I don't think so. I don't think those are birds. But if you think those are birds, let me know in the comments below. I think that's an amazing UFO sighting over Milwaukee a few years ago. But let me know what you guys think. Meanwhile, speaking of astronauts, let's talk about Story Musgrave. This is from Truth Poll. I've heard the story before, and I think I've reported on it before, but it's a cool story about the space snake. Story Musgrave, a distinguished NASA astronaut with 6 space missions to his credit, has shared an intriguing encounter from his time in orbit. During 2 of his space flights, Musgrave reported seeing an 8-foot white snake-like entity drifting in space. He described it as having a rubbery appearance with internal waves, and it followed him for a notable duration. While some speculate this could have been a space debris or a hose from the spacecraft, Musgrave's detailed accounts have sparked interest in the possibility of encountering unknown phenomena in space. His experiences add to the rich tapestry of astronaut observations that challenge our understanding of what might exist beyond Earth. Angels and snakes, guys. Angels and snakes. Okay, let's get back to Jake Barber, the new UFO whistleblower that I'm still very excited about. I know not everybody is excited, and that story seems to be petering out, unfortunately. But let's listen to a little bit of what Gary Nolan had to say.
So I spent a lot of time with Jake and members of his team, the others who we talking about tonight. And they are both professional, extremely well-versed in the subject matter that they're talking about, and believe as much as did Lou Elizondo and David Grush that whatever it is that is being observed needs to be talked about openly, and that they're going to talk about some of the things that they were involved with that are parts of the stories you've heard for the last 40 or 50 years. So I'm excited about it. I hope people respect what Jake is doing and the chance that he's taking for not just himself, for the family, but let's see how it goes. But I've seen a preview of what it is that News Nation is going to be about, and I've seen a Skywatcher video that's going to be coming out after that, and I think people are going to be very pleased.
Well, people weren't as pleased as I was hoping they would be, and probably not as pleased as Gary was hoping they would be. But there you go, him speaking well about Jake Barber and those others that came out with him. Now, this is Lieutenant Colonel John Blitch, DARPA Project Manager, Senior Research Scientist at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, who Tim Gallaudet was saying good things about, and saying that he knows John Blitch and vouches for him. And John Blitch has vouched for Jake Barber. And he had this to say, and I thought this was interesting.
Now, I think the reason why Lou Elizondo is still alive and the reason why Dave Grush is still alive is because the reverse engineering that has occurred over the past half a century or so, I think it is successful enough now that we being the military industrial complex, can protect a fairly significant portion of the populace from these abduction activities.
Okay, that was really interesting, guys. He thinks that the UFO control group, which he might have some knowledge of, senior research scientist at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, knowledgeable of Jake Barber's UFO retrieval operations and able to speak to that and saying that that's legit. Saying that now the control group can protect us against alien abductions. And that's what, gives the impetus for these whistleblowers to come out. I thought that was super intriguing. I have not heard about abductions tapering off or vanishing in any way. And indeed, the Edgar Mitchell Foundation shows that 8 out of 10 longtime abductees have a favorable view of their experiences and may not actually want their experiences to stop. I know people that I've met that view their abductors, if you want to call them that, their contacts, their ET contacts or NHI contacts, they view them as their family, which sounds, incredible. I don't know if I would be that pleased by it, but they are often. Sometimes there's the good and the bad, the positive and the negative. Whitley Strieber, for example, very open about the negative aspects, but ultimately he sees it as a very positive thing, and even a spiritual thing. So really interesting that Blitch is saying this. And, interesting idea to consider. I am encouraged by that, but I'm also a little, raising an eyebrow at that because it may not even be something that people would want if indeed that were the case, that the control group could protect people from abductions. But hey, let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the like button and the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing, just like this cat, just having the best day of his life. Merch, there's t-shirts and stuff. Become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support, so thank you very much. There's plenty of other videos on the channel. I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.